there is a comic strip that used to appear in a British adult comic called The Viz, and it was called Real Ale Twats, and it was basically this group of guys who are real ale twats, and they go to pubs and just talk about how terrible the normies who drink regular beer are, and use words like imbibe and so on. I'm going to find some examples for you to read.
It's making fun of those types of people.
Exactly,
are they in England? That's the general consensus about, like, they're not a respected group.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, they are understood to be kind of what's the word? Sort of a group of nerds, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Annoying. They seem very annoying to me because I can't find them being mean anywhere really, but I could spend all day finding them being annoying as hell in like the comments of these. Like this video, there is this video where the guy comments, Scott Fitches goes, after years in the industry, I had become so jaded that I barely enjoyed beer anymore.
Oh, no.
Now that I found work elsewhere, I can actually enjoy beer properly again. And these videos are wonderful. If you ever come to Toronto, I'll show you around. So,
hang on a second, Bryan. Somebody I know is making a trip to Toronto fairly soon. Do you want to maybe?
I don't think I want to meet Scott. But this guy, Super Vascular, says this is a great series, talking about the series on Real Ale. And he goes, regretting saying I will only drink on Friday or weekends now. This looked amazing, just like the processes, equipment, and people involved in it all.
I hope that guy comes to, and it sounds like he's sort of struggling a little bit with his drinking, because he's like, he's giving himself the ultimatum. I should only be drinking on these days. Now he's already questioning it. As someone who's like, knows addiction and has dealt with it, I hope that he does get it in check.
This is very like the bourbon guys who were hiding the amount of bourbon that they were buying from their wives, sneaking it in, hiding it in the toilet or whatever.
That's very funny that they did that, though. Here is a little thing here on the video. This video it's called Beer School, and it's showing bartenders like pouring beers.
This is a big thing, is pouring a pint correctly. You have to be able to pull, as they say, a pint correctly.
But what would it matter? There's no fucking, it doesn't have to worry about the head of it. Like,
well, it does. It is supposed to have a little, some of them do have bigger heads than others. Yeah. The ones that we got had just a little tiny layer of foam, but it sort of didn't matter in terms of taste. I didn't seem to make any noticeable difference to how fizzy it was.
Okay.
Whiskey River's still talking. He's our American guy, and he is saying, I believe it to be better than anything else, even after explaining the complete brewing and aging process and the more complex drama of blending young brown ales with stale or serving 3 threads or entire butt. But perhaps it's just an individual taste that I have. There really isn't anything quite like it anywhere in the world, except maybe Messer Maguire's pub at O'Connell Bridge on the Quays in Dublin, who do a lovely replica, certainly. Keep in mind, this is American guy.
This is the Real Ale Twat. Like, that could be straight from a Real Ale Twat comic. That's exactly it.
I've yet to find anything that comes close at any of the thousands of microbreweries in America. So for now, Real Ale and its camera supporters are found in one secluded place on the global map. And what a wonderful place to be, to find the best pint of mankind. Perfect, LOL. And then a guy responds, I've had a few today, so forgive me, but I just bloody love a good beer and a good pub. People, let's keep this beautiful thing alive. So now we're at this is our Real Ale guy right here.
Yes.
AC/DC of the 21st century. I don't know what that name means. But he goes, he's watched this video and he goes, it's just a shame the guy pulling the beer didn't know how to pull it properly. I work in a pub in Yorkshire, and so know how real beer should be pulled. There should be a sparkler, a plastic sprinkler kind of thing. The beer is pushed through to give it a nice head and smooth finish. On the end of the swan neck, parentheses, the metal pipe the beer comes out of, and the sparkler should touch the bottom of the glass with the glass held vertically, and the beer should be pulled slowly as to not push too much air through it. They don't want too many bubbles.
Too much air, no.
Yeah, you get some air in there and the bubblies might hurt your tongue.
Which will ruin the taste and give it too much of a head, meaning you have to top the beer off and therefore waste good beer. So,
so sort of coming. I love an expert. Do you know what I mean? I love somebody who can come in and share their expertise like that in a really condescending way. That's fantastic.
The Craft Beer Channel replies to this guy. He goes, "Uh-oh, you said the sparkler word. So many debates about it that we left it out. You can pour great pints with or without it. It's down to what you prefer or the publican." So ACDC
sounds like somebody couldn't afford a sparkler.
ACDC replies, "Hey, the Craft Beer Channel, but I work in a pub in Yorkshire, so it's common practice. I know plenty of head brewers, mainly the ex-head brewer for Theakston, as he's local in my village."
Straight up name dropping like some fucking real ale guys that nobody knows, you know?
Yeah.
And they all say that beer's best with a sparkler, but I went to Coventry the other week and the girl behind the bar didn't even know what one was. And when she asked her boss, was told they didn't even own one.
Honestly, she should be fucking fired.
This is what happens when you let women work in pubs, you know?
Fire her. Fire her immediately. She doesn't know whatever that word is.
This lady's never heard of a sparkler.
God damn.
Is sickening to me.
I asked her about a sparkler. She said, "Oh, what is it, your birthday?" You know what I mean? Sparklers, you know, they.
Andy Higginbottom says, "Fantastic start to the series. A great way to shed the stuffy reputation cask ale has gotten in recent decades. Camera has done great work at keeping cask purity, but has not helped itself with public image or media management, resulting in a reputation of somehow outdated and exclusionary. The series looks like it could be a helping hand at attracting and educating more youthful drinkers that wouldn't ordinarily choose cask by highlighting the artisanal and historic aspects that aren't always at the forefront of drinking."
That's a fucking real long sentence just to say we only old fucking people drink this. It'd be nice to get some young people doing it.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, like it reminds me of the bourbon guys that were commenting about the other guys sneaking the beer in and saying this really makes the bourbon world look bad, or like Fred Minnick saying there's not enough women in bourbon, which I found, which this is kind of the opposite of that, because there was some woman at a pub and she wasn't even, she
wasn't even pouring it right.
Yeah, she doesn't even know what she's serving.
Sparkler was. I mean, I'm sorry, I know I keep bringing it up, but it fucking pisses me off to think that she doesn't even know what a fucking sparkler is.
I mean, these guys with these, like, it's something I was thinking about earlier with, like, there's a thing out where you can put a thing in. Twitter advertised me a thing that you can put in your ear so you don't have to hear people chewing when you're eating dinner. And I was just like, maybe restaurants like just aren't for you. Everything has to, like, the product probably doesn't fucking work anyway, but it's just crazy that somebody would like sort of micro target people who can't stand hear people eating and like living.
There is a type of, there's a name for it.
Misophonia.
Misophonia, yeah, that's a thing. But yeah, I would think that you would self-regulate a little bit, maybe.
Exactly.
How loud is the chewing?
I don't know. I don't understand it, but to buy a product,
right?
So and I just think that about these guys too. This seems like something they should just be making at home.
And Brian's like, I bought it, but I mean, it probably won't work. I bet it's not gonna work.
I don't mind hearing people chew. I
was going to suggest that we get in a little bit to the typology of guy here, because the very specific image I had in my head of real ale guys before I did any research was based on, again, my sort of like ambiguous 18 years or so of life in the UK before I moved to the US. I had a very strong image of this type of guy, and it was low ponytail, curly-ish, dirty hair, beard mandatory, either full beard or at least stubble, but never clean shaven.
Okay. One of those funny mustaches too.
Sounds like
a whirly guy.
She's basically describing me to a T, but I'll let her continue.
Chris's ponytail.
Yeah, what's your ponytail?
He hides it.
Yeah, he's got it in a man bun right now. But
I was on Reddit today, and I found a troll in the Real Ale group, Will Hay 108, and he wrote the ultimate ale experience and posted a picture of Foster's Australian
Oh, that's
beer.
funny.
What?
Oh.
That is. Wait. So
let me give
but-
you a few. Let me give you a couple of the comments here real quick.
Please.
Alemaster 981 said, absolutely best real ale ever if you let it go flat. Fizzy Foster's is not real Foster's ale.
Okay, so there's that person in on that person might be in on the joke.
I don't
Well-
know.
Also trolling and joking, like saying let it go flat, then it would be good. Like also making fun of real ale, I think.
Well, I think Beer Mad, who's the next person, says if I'm ever desperate enough to drink this shit, parentheses, which is a lager, not an ale, by the way, I will be on my way to the ultimate destination 6 feet under.
Oh, this guy says take his own life.
He'd rather die.
He's rather take his own life than drink Foster.
Yeah, or like I'll only be drinking Foster's if I'm dying. Like they serve it in the hospital or something.
Or maybe he's like really likes it and he's just like, yo, the only time I'm gonna wait until I'm on my deathbed to really appreciate this.
Captain Beaver Esquire replied, an unbelievable ale, and then 5 of the eye roll emojis. So,
Oh, I get it. A little bit of sarcasm.
Yeah, buddy, this is not actually an ale. Yeah, that's I wonder how many of the people are sort of goofing along with it and how many of them are thinking
I don't think
this
Beer
person
Man.
is serious. No, that guy is definitely getting trolled right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a very specific like beer guy thing because you kind of mentioned it earlier. Yeah, people who talk about Bud Light or Budweiser or whatever being piss. Like, oh, these other beers are piss. And I didn't used to like beer. When I was younger, I never drank it, and then I stopped drinking for about 5 or so years because I got really bad migraines, and it was just not worth it anymore. But now I'm on a drug that works really well, so I can drink again. And I've only recently gotten into beer in the last couple years or so. And I never liked how it tasted before. I like how it tastes now, but I would never say that my problem with it when I didn't like it was that it was too watery. Because here's the thing: is I like water. Water is a great drink.
One of the best drinks.
I'm fond of it myself.
I'm
It's
drinking some right now. I'm drinking some right now.
I've got some too. Hey,
I just spilled a bunch in my office right before we recorded.
That's true. Right before we started.
Maybe you don't even respect water, actually. Then.
He actually did. Everyone, by the way, literally right before we were about to start recording, he spilled an entire glass of water all over his lap. It was really funny for us.
44-ounce hydro flask.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah.